Today we are going to be talking about subtracting mixed numbers. So there are a couple of ways to do this, but it's not too complicated once you kind of figure it out. It's very similar to subtraction we've done of both whole numbers and of fractions. So let's start with this first one. 6 2/3 minus 2 1/3. So one way you can think about this is you can split it up into 6 minus 2 and then 2/3 minus 1/3. And really you would be adding these answers together. Now, this works out in this one because we don't have to borrow, but I can show you how to do that in a little bit. But really, we're doing 6 minus 2 would be 4, and then 2/3 minus 1/3. 2 minus 1 is 1. So that would just be 4 and then 1/3. So the answer is just going to be 4 1/3. All right. Now for this one, we have you always want to look at the fraction first to see if it's the fraction has common denominators. In this case, it does not. So we are going to have to make these denominators common. So I see that we have 4 here and 8 here. And the least common multiple of 4 and 8 would be 8. Right? So I can multiply this by 2 over 2, and then that would equal 1 times 2 is 2, 4 times 2 is 8, so this becomes 5 2/8 minus 3 1/8. So really you do want to start with the fractions first. I know I put whole numbers first in this one, but really you do want to start with the fractions first if you're subtracting, because you might need to borrow, which I will show you in the next one. But in this one, 2/8 is bigger than 1/8, so we can just do that normally. So 2 minus 1 is 1, so that would be 2/8 minus 1/8 is 1/8, and then 5 minus 3 equals 2. So this is just going to equal 2 1/8. Now this is where it starts to get a little tricky, and I'll show you why. We have 12 1/3 minus 4 3/4. So first of all, we need to find the common denominator for 1/3 and 3/4. The least common multiple of 3 and 4 is actually 3 times 4, which is 12. Right? So I'm going to have to multiply this one by 4 over 4. So 1/3 is 4/12, and I'm going to have to multiply this one by 3 over 3, and then 3 times 3 is, and 4 times 3 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12, so that is going to be 9/12. Now, we're doing a subtraction problem, so really we have 4/12, and then we want to do minus 9/12. This is not going to work, right? Because we can't do it. So basically what we need to do is think about how we do subtraction with the standard algorithm, right? And we need to actually borrow. So we need to borrow from this 12 here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to turn the 12 into an 11. Now, if I take a whole away from 12, we need to add a whole to this fraction. And what is a whole in twelfths? Well, a whole is 12 twelfths, right? Any number over itself equals 1. So what we need to do is we need to add 12 twelfths to 4 twelfths, which would then give us 16 twelfths. Okay, so we are at 11 and 16 twelfths, which equals 12 and 1/3, or 12 and 4 twelfths, right? Because we just took one whole away from the whole numbers, and then we added it to the fraction. And now we are at minus 4 and 9 twelfths. So now all we do is 16 minus 9 equals 7 twelfths, and then 11 minus 4 equals 7. So the answer would be 7 and 7 twelfths. So that is a pretty easy way of doing subtraction with mixed numbers.